Alright guys, welcome to another patch notes dissertation. This is not a review, it's a preview because I do not yet know the contents of this patch. This is March the 11th, 2020, Wednesday. Right now it is almost 11 PM in Amsterdam. And we're gonna be jumping right into it. Let's see what we got. Varian is now selectable in ARAM games. Alright. That's pretty cool. And the heroes. We have a bunch of changes. As usual, we'll start with a prediction about buff, nerf, or burf. A little bit of both. And we'll end up with a review of score on 0 out of 10 to 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 being the best, of course. With our appreciation of how good the patch has the finger on the pulse of the health of the game, how much it's in the right direction. So, here are the predictions. I think Arthas is gonna get a little bit reworked. Not reworked, but like buffed on less used talents, and maybe, well, he doesn't really need nerfs. I think he's just gonna get buffed, actually. Diablo, I would say, I got no freaking clue, but I think they're gonna buff his overpowered talents and do nothing else. Tyrael, maybe some mana help, a little bit of mana help, a little bit mana buff. Imperius, I don't know, even if you bludgeon me, I have no idea. Rexxar, I would say nerf. He's kind of too good, he's got a really big win rate. So I'd say he's probably going to get nerfed a bit if I had to guess. Xul, maybe buff. Spectral Scythe buff, they look at the win rate, they're like, okay, Xul isn't that good in fights. But Spectral Scythe is the least popular, and the Skeletons too, so let's buff those, and it's not going to make much of a difference, would be my guess. But maybe a nerf to his double laning capacity for, you know, quick match Blackheart's Bay. Anduin, I would say small buff, 4% buff to one of his heal talents or his heal. Kharazim, maybe buff his healing punch or mana punch. Rehgar, I've got no idea. They changed that guy so many times. I'm gonna say burf just for the heck of it. I need to say something. Stukov, he's been buffed and nerfed a lot as well. Again, no idea. Maybe rather big changes to, I don't know, make him more generalist. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with that, but maybe that's what I would predict. Kerrigan nerf, I would say. She's quite high win rates and quite effective. I think her healing talent at level 1 is quite good. The healing and shielding and regeneration talent. Samuro, I've got no idea, but maybe nerf to his split push. And buff to his team fight, doubling down on the thing that they did in his most recent rework. A Butcher, again, really hard to say, maybe some buffs. Mephisto, maybe buff as well. And Raynor, maybe nerf to his level 1 PvE talent. Alright. Now, let's jump into it. Arthas, buff in his health, buff in Rune Tap at level 7. This is not a popular talent, nor should it be. Icebound is a little better. But kind of cool, I guess, to combine this with his full trait build. So, there you go. That's something that could be pretty cool. Army of the Dead is tooltip expansion. This one is extra damage. This one is even longer route and slow. Longer period of activatable movement speeds and a longer period of magic shell block. Straight up buffs. I think it's correct. I'm gonna give that the Grubby's seal of approval. Arthas is slightly underperforming compared to other warriors, so we're giving him a small baseline health buff, which we feel is appropriate since he doesn't have the mobility that a lot of other warriors bring to the table. We've also taken a look at his level 20 talents and beefed them up all to be much more epic. Damn, this came just too late for me. I would have definitely gone for Absolute Zero Bankai on my last Arthas loss today. Devastating Charge, more damage when you beat them into terrain. Wow. I play a lot of Diablo and it's going really well for me, and this is just devastating for the opponents. Good for us, good for this stream. Though I don't think it is justified, I'm gonna give this the... I don't think that's hitting the right note with Diablo. Diablo has fallen off. I don't feel that at all, but okay. And this one I pick it fairly frequently as well, though I prefer the auto attack talent. Actually, I never ever take this. No, I go Malevolence, the magic damage. But I guess it makes it a little better. Again, I don't understand Tyrael, Defense of the Angels. A short cooldown on his version of Hardened Shield. Not what I expected, but okay, cool. Imperius, Impaling Light, more damage on his Q. Battle Hunger, more healing from his trait. Press Forward. While he's being healed by a Regeneration Globe, he gains 10 armor. That feels really powerful. Now it seems Imperius is not actually very strong right now. It's rare to see good ones. This seems quite strong, but I don't know if this is a good talent in general, but that's gonna make him quite good at ARAM, I guess. Blaze of Glory, more damage. Pathetic Mortals, reduces enemy damage more. And then Unrelenting Descent, cooldown reduction from 5 to 10 seconds. Brand of Solarion, a longer duration. So if I'm not mistaken, this is the advantage and drawback talent that gives you like infinite hits with Reaper's Mark, but only for a very short period of time, something like that. Rexxar, bonus basic attack damage, but Misha has less health, so they make him more Rexxar heavy. And less health regen on Misha, and more mana cost on Menpet. Okay, I think that's fair. It kind of doubles, it kind of like enhances the idea that Rexxar is a part of Rexxar and Misha. It's gonna nerf his effectiveness at solo laning, camping, disrupting enemy teams a little bit. I think that's fair. Rexxar is a very high performing hero right now, even if you don't see him much. Anytime you have a Rexxar that knows what they're doing, they're going to be more valuable than the average hero. His win rates are high among the websites, so I think that's fair, and I think this is a good way of doing it as well, since very little of Rexxar actually forces him to risk himself, either in team fights or in the solo lane, and making Misha less survivable while giving more benefit to Rexxar to step up is a great thing to do, I think. And here's their explanation. It's probably the same thing as what I just said. Are they just parroting me now? Rexxar's ability to win the laning phase on point control maps is a little too powerful to compensate, which will both help him in the later parts of the game and make the early game more about how well he can work with Misha to outtrade the enemy hero. We're hoping that this leads to more interaction in the laning phase with fewer instances of Misha being able to stand on a point for a prolonged period. Yeah, great reasoning. Yeah, I think that's great. Xul. Wow, that's a lot of bonus health. 10% bonus health, bonus regen, but less basic attack damage. Spectral Scythe, contrary to my predictions, will actually do less damage, but it does spawn a skeletal warrior. That's really cool. I love it. I love it. Bone Prison now also causes skeletons to focus their target after the target is rooted, whereas Ray Skeleton gets more health. They do lose more health per second, which is slightly greater than the relative opposite amount of this. They also have a shorter duration, and you get fewer maximum skeletal warriors spawned from minions, only 3 instead of 4. Aww. Oh, but they always deal explosion damage. 50. 100 at level 10, 200 at level 20. That's kind of cool. Corpse explosion on the baseline. I just want to capture chat's reaction to this. That's pretty damn cool. That kind of justifies these 3 unwarranted nerfs. Baseline explosion, that's cool, dude. And it's all enemies, no longer just minion wave centric. Like the skeletons are going to be everywhere from all of his abilities. That's nice. Bone armor cooldown increase is now only 40 seconds total. Plus 10 instead of plus 20. Goes from 30 to 40 for this one. That makes this one really, really competitive choice again. It's the one that blocks auto attacks. Reaper's Toll no longer has a quest component, even though it was quite easy to complete. Cooldown reduction has been reduced from 3 to 2 seconds. And the mana cost reduction has been reduced from 20 to 15. Grim Scythe has an additional functionality. Increase Xul's basic attack damage by 15%. Now, Grim Scythe, I'm going to take a quick sneak peek what exactly that does. The level 7 talent, take a look at it.
A familiar face.
Is it level 7? Grim Scythe, oh sorry, that's level 4. Each enemy hit. Oh, that's the crazy CDR talent. All right. So the crazy CDR talent now also gives him 15% bonus attack damage. That's interesting. It does compete with some talents that give him more skeletons and therefore more explosions. As such, this may not be a no-brainer, but it looks like a no-brainer. This seems really powerful to give up, together with the other functionality. New talent, Wall of Bones trait. This is cool, man. Xul Rework. I'm really happy with it. Increase the shield amount of bone armor to 35% of Xul's maximum health. And how much is it normally? Sneak peek again. Bone armor.
Ah, a familiar face.
Actually, I can't see that here. I would have to go into the try mode. I think it's 25. So it's going to be 35. And Xul gains spell armor for its duration as well. Wow. Wow, amazing. Amazing. Poison Nova will deal more damage. Slightly more than 10% extra damage. Chat confirms it is indeed 25, so it will be 35 instead. Executioner is gone. I personally don't care. I never really took that too much. When I go for Xul W build, I go Rapid Harvest.
A familiar
It
face.
gives you bonus attack speed. And I kind of feel like these two kind of have a bit of overlap. Yes, they do their damage in different ways, but in the end, they add bonus damage. And there is some nuance, but mostly you're deciding every game, okay, which one do I think is going to do more? But they're both just bonus damage on the same thing, kind of. Although Executioner does work when you don't turn on W, so I guess there was some uniqueness, but I don't really miss it if they put something else cool. What's going to level 13? Oh, Amplify damage. Moved from 16. Duration increased to 2 seconds. This is the 25 armor debuff. And additional functionality also increases the duration of Bone Prison's route by a quarter of a second. Right. Okay, cool. Corpse Explosion, of course, has been embedded. Decrepify Q. Enemy heroes who are damaged by Spectral Scythe or Skeleton Warriors are also slowed by 40% to the order of 2.5 seconds. That's a really big slow. That's amazing. That's a big slow. Good. Weaken. Moved from level 7. New functionality. Enemy heroes who are damaged by Curse Strikes or by Skeleton Warriors deal 40% less damage for 3 seconds. That counts Skeleton Warrior auto attacks, as well as explosions, as well as that huge AoE Curse Strike. That's a big deal. Xul becomes kind of like a semi-support debuff niche at level 16. That's quite strong. He did already have Decrepify. It was at level 7, and it debuffed someone's attack speed even more. That's what it used to do. So it's like, okay, should you take that against Illidan? Maybe. But this is much cooler. This is like lowering people's attack speed is kind of wonky. Andariel's Visage no longer increases the damage of Skeletal Warriors, but now increases the duration of Poison Nova. That's 15 seconds, right? Instead of 10. Cold Hand of Death no longer causes Skeletal Warriors to slow enemies. After all, they put that here. But every 5th Spectral Scythe that hits enemy heroes spawns a Frost Mage instead of a Skeletal Warrior at their location. Okay, cool. New functionality. Each time Skeletal Warriors deal damage in Kaelin's Edict, reduce the cooldown of Bone Armor and Xul's heroic ability by 1.5%. Cool. Yeah, let's start patching, by the way, in the meantime. Xul's rework has arrived. Our goal with these changes is to primarily make him feel more like a Diablo necromancer, and to make his skeletons a larger part of his kit, outside of their pushing potential. Xul now has the ability to spawn skeletal warriors in combat via Spectral Scythe, and they now explode for damage when they die, giving enemy heroes a reason to stay away from them while they mow them down. We also updated Xul's talents to embrace this fantasy. with many options to use skeletons as a mechanism to deliver various buffs to Xul and debuffs to the enemy team. We had a blast testing him and we hope you enjoy him as much as we have. Healing. Anduin. Bonus damage from Chastis. The Root. Pursued by Grace. Bonus healing. Level 1. Binding Heal. This also of course buffs his combination talent, the third one, which you should, in my opinion, always take. Binding Heal. More heal. To yourself. Divine Star. More shield if you get bursted. Even-handed Blessings. If Flash Heal is cast on a different target than its last, it heals for 20% more. I've never tried this yet. Seems okay though. It was CDR and now it's also heal more. Not bad. Light of Stormwind. While inside Holy Word Salvation, Anduin's allies are invulnerable instead of protected. So it's like Sanct, the one that used to channel. His win rate has been low, while he's decently popular. He won't be invulnerable though. That's the difference with Sanct. But it's, again, like I said, it's old Tyrael, where he channeled. That's a big level 20 upgrade. Before it was like little bit of extra healing and something like that. Kharazim. Peaceful Repose. Additional functionality. Increased healing of Divine Palm. Oh, they heard us talk about the ease of Resurrect of Ariel and the difficulty of Kharazim's Divine Palm. And it's like, shouldn't he have more heal? It's like, okay, but we'll put it at level 20. Rehgar. Feral Heart. Mana restoration when hitting enemy heroes has been increased. Bloodlust. Lifesteal. 40%. Ooh! Let's get some Tassadar, Rehgar, Tychus, Odin, Alexstrasza, Dragon games up in here where we Bloodlust. Gladiator's War Shout. Increase the range and duration of Bloodlust by 100%. Cool? Cool? Stukov. Bonus healing, bonus health, bonus regen, and bonus damage on weighted pustules explosion. He's underperforming a bit, so we'll help him out a bit. Good. I think that's good. Melee Assassin. Psionic Barrier. Oh, this is my talent. This is the one I take. If I don't need Chrysalis. Hitting an enemy hero with Primal Grasp also grants Kerrigan 4%. Oh yes, Queen's Rush is back. Nice. 4% movement speed for 4 seconds, stacking up to 20%. If you grasp 5 people, you can be so fast at running away. If they don't kill you. You can now prematurely cancel Chrysalis. Good. That was really important. Yes. I had this feedback. It was me. We originally intended it to be this way, to separate it a bit from other similar mechanics and to give opponents a reliable way to counter it, but we found out it still ended up being less fun and interesting overall. Because of this, we're adding the ability for Kerrigan to cancel the effect early. Dance of Death. This is my talent too! Required heroes hit to reset cooldown reduced from 25 to 20. Hey, it was easy for me. Now it's gonna be even easier. No, it was easy for me. Ruthless Onslaught. Duration before the ability can be cancelled after charging has been reduced from 1 to 3/4 of a second. This is good. This is a good thing. Before, like, obviously there must be delays, right? If it's 0.25, you will be like tap at a tap at a tap at a tap to try and stun someone. And then you always end up interrupting it. That's why these delays exist. But maybe they feel like the sweet spot is 0.75. That's a good buff because he won't jump in as often by himself. Malicious Intent. Number of enemy heroes required to hit for the spell power duration bonus reduced from 20 to 18. Trickery. Number of enemy heroes required to hit the reset. Same thing. Okay, cool. Raynor. Ace in the hole. What? I thought they were gonna address his PvE, but they addressed his PvP. Our thinking with Raynor changes was to solve a design problem with Ace in the Hole's mandatory synergy with Unstable Compound. It was largely successful, but now Ace in the Hole is so strong that we're gonna lower its damage to compensate for the slow baseline it gained. That's it. No Diva rework yet. Not yet. But that is the rework. And now let's go put theory to practice and spam some Xul. Hell yeah. Did they fix Phoenix bug? Oh yeah. 111% movement speed.